this video, I will be taking you guys through the 2024 presidential election prediction between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. But first, I need to tell you guys about my new Twitter account, so please make sure to follow election predictions and analysis on Twitter. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started. So, I think I don't need to explain basically the background between the two candidates, Kamala Harris being Biden's vice president, and Donald Trump being the 45th president of the United States, a former president who served between 2017 to 2021. So let's get started. First of all, Kamala Harris will carry her safe states California, Hawaii, New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maryland, and I think the first district of Maine, as well as the District of Columbia. So those are safe states for Kamala Harris. While Donald Trump, he has his safe states, I believe, will end in 125 electoral votes, 11 ahead of Kamala Harris. So wait for me to fill in these states. Alright, so now we have 125 electoral votes for Donald Trump. Let's fill in the likely states for Kamala Harris. I think some of these states, they're going to be narrower. Virginia, we can talk about that a little bit, but I think a lot of these states, they're just not going to be over 15%. That being said, they will be quite solid for Kamala Harris, so 181 for her. I also think Colorado, with the Denver suburbs, very Democratic as of right now, so gonna vote for Kamala Harris. I think Virginia as well, the Washington, D.C. suburbs, those areas are quite blue. Kamala Harris may not be the best candidate. She's gonna lose Stafford. She's gonna lose Chesterfield. She's gonna lose Virginia Beach. But that being said, she'll also still win the state by just about 5 to 6%. Well, for Donald Trump, I do think Maine's 2nd district, a very solid district for him. The redistricting didn't change much. He won the district in 2020 by 8 points. He should hold on to the state of Maine, 2nd congressional district. If we look at Iowa, Ohio, both of those states, I do think will end up going to Donald Trump. I think he's probably a good candidate there. He could do very well in the white working class, and a lot of these rural areas, it's just going to be pretty good for him in 2024, given the national environment. Going to Texas here, a pretty solid Republican state, trending blue, but that being said, Democrats are going to gain around the Dallas-Fort Worth area a little bit, maybe Houston, maybe Austin, maybe San Antonio, but Republicans are going to pretty much, I think, not really. Democrats won't even gain a lot in these areas. I think Republicans could gain in the rural areas. Definitely will gain in this border area. You can see how Republican these areas have trended. And given 2024's environment, this state will remain in the likely Republican column. Florida as well. I do think Donald Trump should be able to win Florida at this point by 5% or more. But he did win the state against Joe Biden by 3.3 points, so pretty impressive for him. Given the national environment, I see no problem of this state being over 5% for Donald Trump, given that Kamala Harris is not a good candidate. Going to the state of North Carolina here, I do think it's going to be likely. It could be lean, but Trump did win the state. 1.3 points was a margin for him. He, by this point, he has already won all the states he has won in 2020, and given that the census has happened, Donald Trump has gained an additional 3 electoral votes, so he's one step closer to the presidency with North Carolina. I just don't think Democrats are going to have good turnout in Wake or Charlotte. Going to the area, basically, going to the areas that I think Kamala Harris could win by a lean margin, I really don't see many. Only New Mexico and Maine's at-large vote. New Mexico, Ohio State, likes someone like Donald Trump. In a lot of the rural areas, I think Kamala Harris will underperform Joe Biden, as well as that in Maine as well, underperform Joe Biden. It could actually go down to tilt because Clinton only won the state by less than 3 points. That being said, I do think that Kamala Harris ends up winning Maine by a lean margin. Now for Donald Trump, his lean states will give him the presidency. It was the states of Wisconsin. Biden barely won the state, of course. Trump lost because of the wild counties. I think they're going to revert back a little bit to him, and the rural areas going to be pretty friendly to Donald Trump. Going to the state of Arizona, a very moderate state. I don't think they're going to like Kamala Harris. Although she's from the neighboring state, California. I really don't think her favorability rating, approval rating, or anything of that, or the national environment does help her in the state, and Donald Trump will not be in spotlight anymore, so you cannot blame Donald Trump for anything. You can, however, blame Kamala Harris. You also have the state of Michigan as well. I think Macomb County, Oakland County, this area, I really don't think Kamala Harris is going to do too well in, and that's why I'm giving the state towards Donald Trump, not by a tilt margin, but by a lean margin. Pennsylvania, similar thing. I mean, Biden was a scranto boy, I guess, and that's what helped him to cut down the margins for Donald Trump. In a lot of rural areas do very well. In these areas, you can see in the trend here, very well in a lot of suburbs, a lot of urban areas, except Philadelphia here. I do think, however, though, that Kamala Harris definitely doesn't have that Scranton boy name over her, and basically the oil prices, a lot of that is gonna come back and bite Kamala Harris. I do also think that for the few states, these states are going to be most contested. I'm going to go with Nebraska second first. I do think that after redistricting, this district does end up going towards the Democrats, towards the Republicans. That being said, this district is trending more and more towards the Democrats. Looking at the state of Nevada, the Hispanic area, Biden barely won the state. It actually trended Republican and, of course, shifted Republican. Given the national environment, you can see that the state actually, you can see Clark County shifting towards Donald Trump a little bit. These rural counties, the Democratic shift was mainly in Marshall County, but I do think that overall, Nevada shifted like 0.00 something towards the Republicans. Look at the final three states here. I do think Georgia will go to Donald Trump. I think that he will be able to do very well in the state of Georgia. Win the state. I think a lot of these areas in the Georgia Atlanta suburbs, these areas will revert back towards the Republicans a little bit. If that does not happen, however, I think that a lot of rural areas will go further towards Donald Trump. You can see Republicans aren't maxed out exactly downstate. You can see a lot of these counties, they're only a light shade of pink. I think they'll go to a dark shade of pink in maybe 2024. Mitchell County, Baker County, Thomas County, Loudoun County. A lot of these counties, they should go to the Republicans by a larger margin. Finally, for the two remaining states, I do think Donald Trump should be able to carry New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a sort of anti-incumbent state, and given the national environment, I'd see no problem for Donald Trump to actually be able to win the state back again. What's something he wasn't able to do in 2016. This is one of those flips from 2016 and the state of Nevada as well. Minnesota, I do think Kamala Harris, the state's just too far gone for the Republican Party there. Just the Minneapolis suburbs, Minneapolis, Ramsey County, Hennepin County area. It's too much support for Black Lives Matter. Trump is, of course, not going to say Black Lives Matter, and that's going to hurt him in the state of Minnesota. Sure, Republicans aren't exactly maxed out in the rural areas, but I don't think 7 points is enough. A 7-point Biden victory could be overthrown by a national environment. So this ends this map at 221 for Kamala Harris, 317 for Donald Trump. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and do follow me on Twitter. That will be in the pinned comments. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day, and bye.